Hello and welcome to the latest video from inside of Blackpool. In this video we're going to do a virtual pub run around central Blackpool, that's the area around Central Pier. We'll be taking in 8 pubs, starting at the Manchester, that's at Manchester Square, then going through the Foxhall area of Blackpool where all the pubs are pretty close together to be honest, finishing at the Ardwick, which is on Foxhall Road. Unfortunately, due to COVID restrictions, we will not be going inside any of the pubs that we're visiting today, basically because they're all closed. However, we do hope that it gives you a gist of what the area and each of the pubs have to offer for your next visit. So straight on to our first pub, and as mentioned, it's the Manchester at Manchester Square. So originally the Manchester Hotel was built in the late 1800s. It was then demolished in 1936 and rebuilt, with its most recent reincarnation in 1996. Now this pub is particularly popular with tourists. It has quite a big crowd, consisting of hen do's, stag do's, etc. Big groups. It does have a family bar upstairs, but to be honest they're not ones that we're going to look at in this particular video. Perhaps in a future one, so subscribe and keep an eye out. So following on from the Manchester, we have our longest walk in this virtual pub run, and that's from the Manchester to the Foxhall. We timed it, and for your information, that's still only a paltry 2.5 minutes. So easy to stagger between these two pubs if you've had more than you intended in the Manchester. Interesting fact about the Foxhall, or not so interesting depending on your perspective, it was actually the first substantial building in Blackpool, built in the 17th century. It was a farmhouse, then a hotel and a pub. Demolished in the 1980s, and the new Foxhall monstrosity, which you see before you now, is what was left. The Foxhall, like the Manchester, has a similar clientele. It's very much catering for tourists, for your stag do's, your hen parties and groups of lads and lasses, etc. Not that many tourists frequent there on a regular basis, except if having a tourist day out, should we say. Next up, literally a stone's throw away, and we do mean literally because you can see it from the Foxhall, is Connollys. Connollys is a fairly new bar. It's part of the New Philly. The New Philly is a pub that's aimed at children, and we've made a section of that really for adults and called it Connollys. This pub, along with the children's New Philly pub, is based on the site of the Philharmonic Workingmen's Club, which dates back all the way to 1901. As mentioned, Connellys is a fairly new bar. It's pretty small. It gets a good mix of people going in. It doesn't have that local cliquey feeling that you get in some of the pubs in the area, but also it's different than Manchester and Foxhall in that it's not stag do orientated. It's a quite new, nice new little addition to the area. And straight next door to Connellys is the Jac Russell. Now, we'll be honest, we don't know much about this one. It's one of the pubs that tends to be a lot quieter than the others in the area, but that, of course, could be seen as a good point. If you're after a quick drink and you don't want to wait around the bars in the other areas, then this is definitely one for you. Next up needs a little by way of introduction. If you've been out drinking in Blackpool before, the chances are you've been in one of the Connellys, and this one is Connellys Central, offering various cabaret acts during the day on a rota basis between all the Connellys venues, interspersed with karaoke. So really fundamental Blackpool fun. Then, directly across the road from Connellys, we have the back entrance to Gaietys. Gaiters is probably the biggest and most popular karaoke bar in Blackpool. So if you like to get up and sing, or just stand and watch like we do, then that's the place for you, along with Prom. And following on from Gaiters, pub popular with both locals and tourists alike, it's the Lifeboat. One of the oldest buildings in Blackpool, and originally called Wiley's Hotel, the pub got its name from being a meeting place for lifeboat men in the 19th century. It's one which is always a lot of fun, always lively, often has karaoke playing away, some good singers and a few not so good on there. Always a good laugh. And last up on our virtual central pub run is the Ardwick. So, what to say about the Ardwick? It's just a decent boozer, really. It's a fair size. It's bigger than most of the old traditional ones which we've covered on this virtual pub run. It offers pretty cheap drinks, dartboard, pool table, and is popular in and out of the season, which I guess speaks volumes about the place. So make sure you visit next time you're in Blackpool. Thanks for joining us on this virtual pub crawl. Hope you've enjoyed watching, and it's giving you a taste of what variety of pubs are available in central Blackpool. That's not the town centre, that's around Central Pier. If you've enjoyed it, please hit that subscribe button and keep an eye out for further instalments.